Streamline is your go-to B2B provider. If you're looking for support with procurement, logistics, or your supply chain, we're here to help you find verified UK businesses. Our focus is on supporting the UK economy and helping businesses build stronger and smarter connections. We're all about simplifying success, taking away the overwhelm, and helping you find the right partners to help your business grow. So, if you're interested in promoting your services or looking to connect with a business yourself, check out www.streamlineonline.io. Now on to the guest. So we're here in the room today with a personal friend of mine, owner and founder of House of Hair, Andrew White, who's been in business for 6 years with House of Hair, been opening 5 salons over the last 5 years, which is insane. But he has an incredible story, and I'm really excited to dig deep into the hair industry. So welcome.
Thank you.
Was that a good enough
Excited to be
intro?
here, yeah.
So give us the 101. What's the background? I know you've had quite a journey in business.
So, well, where do you start? At what point in my life do you want me to start? Business.
Yeah, of course.
So I started out hairdressing at 14. I wasn't very good in school. I was very naughty. My mum was being pulled in quite a lot. And in the end, they just said, he's got to find something else. So I ended up working in a hair salon for free. Just worked in the hair salon for free for like 6 months. And then they decided that they were going to put me through my training. And once I'd been through my training, I was qualified, and I was the youngest qualified hairdresser in the UK. So I was qualified at 16. People did not trust me at all. So that was the hardest time, the hardest start. And then I went and worked on cruise ships for a couple of years. Then I came back and opened my first salon at 21.
That's
Yeah,
young.
very young. Very, very young. But I also think like our generation,
Mm,
we were dragged up
Yes.
yeah.
and we had to find our feet and find our feet quick. We were young. We were too young doing so many different things. I was living independently of my parents at 15,
Yeah.
which is, I couldn't imagine that now.
Mm,
It's quite funny you mentioned about school earlier. I find that quite a lot of entrepreneurs, people that start their own businesses, have a really rough upbringing when it comes to school, or really tough time.
Mm.
So, do you think that that had a huge impact on where you want to be in that drive and determination to kind of break what school were kind of saying?
Yeah. I mean, you go to school, don't you? And they tell you if you're amazing, but they really tell you if you're not. And I was told a lot that I wasn't. So that was quite emotional, obviously. Not at the time. I just hated everyone at the time. Just for being rebellious. But yeah, that's emotional as you're getting older, trying to prove yourself to be something, better than what they tell you are. But also when you're not academic, I'm not an academic mind.
Mm.
I'm physical. I want to be on clients. I'm still on clients now. Um, so when you put that pen to paper and it doesn't make any sense, that's really tough.
yeah.
But when you find your passion or you find a career that you actually are good at and you can run with, then everything else just falls into place, I think.
Mm. No, that makes perfect sense.
And
21 is so young. Like, was you almost a little bit naive, you think, just going into it and just thought,
to be
why
honest, I
not?
couldn't work for anybody.
Right.
I really struggled with keeping a job, which is crazy
Mm,
because I just couldn't work for anybody. I didn't agree with people. I didn't agree with their management style. I didn't like the way that they um, ran their business. Not to say that I had the experience to um, do better than them, but I just didn't like the power hungry managers that were forcing the assistants to do awful things. Um, just didn't agree with it. Thought there's a better way to do this.
Has that kind of driven your management style and how you treat your staff?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. My team love the salon. They do. They're treated really well. They're paid really well. We go on amazing Christmas parties. They can basically do and have whatever they want.
Don't you say that
within
out loud, it's
within
running
reason,
riot.
within reason. But the guys have their freedom. They have the freedom to be authentic. They have the freedom to be creative. And then if they need something, then they can come to me for it.
I love that because a lot of business owners generally tend to forget. They get, you either get a business owner that will micromanage everyone, or you get someone that will give them free rein to kind of do what they want within reason.
Yeah.
And I think it's quite important to get that kind of balance in
Mm.
between both, and to actually also show people that you appreciate them.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people actually go so wrong with not
Yeah.
appreciating their staff and the hard work and dedication that they put in. I've got some staff members that actually treat their business more like it's their own business than my business. You know what I mean? And I think that really, really helps with regards to driving the business to the next levels.
And I think you have to be smart with it, because especially your industry is very competitive, and
Yeah.
you get a lot of people that move around quite quickly and easily,
Yeah.
which I'm sure you've had a lot
Yeah.
of. So yeah, the fact that you have a bit, I'd say like an open door policy by the sounds of it,
Yeah.
is
I mean, my
it's nice to
my
do.
team tell me everything, and it is really, really easy to be poached as a hairdresser. I have people sliding in my team members' DMs every day,
Wow.
saying, "Oh my God, we've been watching your work. We absolutely love it. We'll give you £1 more an hour than he's giving you." But that means nothing, because our commission structure is so strong that £1 an hour literally is £1, and your basic is nothing. I want to push you to be getting £900 to £1,000 on top of your basic. On top of that, that's just in service. Then we want to push your retail and yeah.
Nice.
So we don't have people moving so much. I've had a couple that have left to go self-employed, kind of doing it because they've got young families and stuff, which I understand. But yeah, tough out there.
I'm excited to get into the staff side, because I just think that can open up so many doors of discussion.
Yeah.
Take me back to the 21-year-old self, Drew. Is that still the current business that you have today?
No. So my first salon, I had a chair and a backwash. It was so cute. I had a chair and a backwash, and it was called Signature, and it was just myself starting out. And I was just doing friends, family, clients and stuff. And then we grew really fast. I was fully booked really, really fast. And then I was like, oh, I think I need someone in here with me, just like a teammate or something. Then I decided to employ somebody. They did really well. I was like, oh, okay. Maybe we need a junior. Then I took on an assistant, and I was like, okay, we're a team of 3 now. Should we do one more? So then I was like, okay, we'll get another one in. Then we moved locations across the road, so we had the bigger space. And yeah, we were smashing it, and it was really nice. We were really young and really small. Yeah, it was really, really cute.
Did it feel too easy almost?
It was really easy. Yeah, it was. I mean, my rent was £180 a week. It
Wow.
was nothing. Absolutely nothing. I was charging £22.50 for a cotton blow dry.
That's wild.
Like, wild. Doing a full head of highlights for 65 quid, but we were absolutely packed.
What kind of challenges did you have back then?
Managing people. Massively. I was a kid. I was 21 years old, pretending. I was pretending at life, winging it.
Yeah.
Do you still sometimes get that kind of imposter syndrome?
I remember in one interview, I said to this lady who I interviewed, I said to her, I'm 22 years old and you're 36. How are you going to feel about being managed by somebody that's younger than you? She was like, oh yeah, I'll be fine. I was like, I'm not going to be. Like, you're a grown up.
Yeah.
You're a grown up, but you're really good at your job, and I think I want to take you on.
Yeah,
So I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
come and join us. Yeah, it is. I mean, it is definitely. I still get imposter syndrome now every single day.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
I definitely do.
And how do you kind of deal with that just now?
Really know. It's the job, isn't it? You've just got to do it.
So we were talking earlier about John, and one of the things that he teaches people is don't think, just do. And that's what I find actually really helps me,
Yeah.
is don't think about whatever's in front of you, just do it.
Yeah.
And I find that that really helps me overcome any sort of barriers when it comes to like being an imposter or anything like that. But going back to the 21-year-old you, how
I was an imposter then.
I
was.
I love how you're owning it.
Yeah. Like, now I'm a seasoned imposter. I kind of know where I'm at. I kind of know what I'm doing. I like to think I know what I'm doing. But then, oh my gosh, I was definitely out of my depth.
So looking back at it now, if you could have 21-year-old you in front of you right now, what advice would you give them?
Keep going. Keep going with what you're doing because actually you'll do really well at it.
I
I
think
love that.
that's
I
that's it.
think I think it's somebody said to me, imposter syndrome doesn't matter who you are. You could be at the top of your game, which you are in your industry.
Thank
You're
you.
still gonna have the imposter syndrome, and actually, if you don't feel some sort of imposter syndrome in what you're doing, you're not pushing yourself hard
Yeah.
enough. You're not growing.
It's that
Hopefully,
fulfillment.
you still feel that now.
100%.
Good.
It's
I still
that
feel that.
fulfillment though. Like I think a true entrepreneur, you see a lot of salons that are just one salon and they don't change and they don't change their branding, they don't change their ethos, they don't change their hairdressing. And they're just happy sitting there, ticking over, taking the £5,000 a week, 200,000 a year, whatever they might take, and they're happy with that. They're choosing their home life over their business. But I think a true entrepreneur never stops,
Mm.
ever. I never ever feel fulfilled. I can't tell you why. I've been searching for it. Went to the doctors. I had an ADHD diagnosis. I was like,
That's me.
why can I never feel fulfilled? Why am I never just happy? Um, but I am happy. I'm really happy in what I'm doing. And that's continuously striving to be better and do more.
Mm.
So yeah, I mean, there was a lot that came after that 21-year-old.
Yeah.
I mean, it hasn't all been plain sailing. It was rough.
Talk to us.
So 21, I had signature. That was going really, really well. And then I thought to myself, right, we've outgrown this space um, that we were in. I need to move location. I went to look at this unit and I was going to buy it off a lady who wanted to retire. So I was really into that and I was like, okay, let's do it. And then she asked me for, I think, 75,000 for a couple of hood dryers and her clientele. And it was a really old rundown salon. So
Mm.
for me to pay 75,000 plus renovate and then take on her client, which were plus 60, plus 70 age clientele, I just didn't see the value in it. So I started looking elsewhere. And then I used to work for a company in London before I went in there on the cruise ships. I won't name them. Um, I worked for them before and I loved my time with them. Um, And then I found out that they were opening or wanted to open a salon in Milton Keynes. And it was a franchise opportunity. And I jumped in with 2 feet, paid them 50 grand to join their franchise. And it really bit me on the arse. It was
Oh,
really bad.
what happened?
I mean, the first 12 months were really good, really, really nice. I took minimum. So I scaled everything back. I took the minimum amount of money. I think I was getting £1,200 a month. Um, that was just covering my flat. Um, and then we had to, I was very much a glorified manager. They micromanaged me quite heavily. And I said to them, I need more money because I can't cover my bills. And they was like, we can't give you any until you start hitting target. And our break even target was 13,000 a week.
A week.
A week. So then we pushed up to 10,000. Then we pushed up to 11,000 a week. I was working 7 days a week. Then we pushed it to 13,000. And I said, I'm going to need some more salary. Um, and they were just like, we can't give it to you. Can't give it to you. And then um, I stayed there for about 3.5 years, just getting further and further and further into debt. Really bad. I lost my car. My car was picked up by the car company because I'd missed so many payments. I know it was picked up by the car company after it was covered in stickers because it wasn't taxed. After it was impounded by the police on my way home from work because I didn't pay the insurance because I couldn't, kept bouncing from my account.
And your employer just let all of this happen because
So
clearly
I was a
see you're
franchisee.
struggling. Oh,
I was a franchisee. I had no access to the money. I had no access to the bank account details. I had no access to anything. So again, that 21-year-old that was playing businessman, didn't really understand what being a businessman was, and I just trusted these franchisees, the company. They gave us a business sheet that told me I was going to be doing 1.1 within the first year, and I would be getting 50 to 60,000 pound dividends at the end of that year, and that dividends just never came. So I was getting more and more into debt, more and more into debt, and in the end, I just said I've got to call this a day. It was awful, really, really bad. I said to my mum, I said, I'm so depressed. I haven't got anything. I lost my house. It was a rented flat, but I couldn't afford it. So then I moved into a room above, like in a HMR
Mm.
house. It was a lot. I just said to my mum, I can't do it. And my mum said, you can't walk away from that money. You've put your heart and soul into this business for 4.5 years. You can't walk away from it. I said, if I don't walk away from it, I'm frightened for my health.
Mm.
And I said, I'm doing it. I sold all of my shares back to the company for £1.
Wow.
For £1.
That desperate to get out.
Yeah. Left everything to them. They basically said their business was in £325,000 worth of debt that was all in my name. If I didn't walk away from it with signing this
Mm.
document that sold it for £1, then they'll transfer all the debt into our name. And I was like, well, I can't do that. This business is not going anywhere. And then
Was it in debt, or do you think they'd made that up?
I actually couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you.
Because
I
that
didn't.
seems a substantial amount of money to be in debt for a business that's bringing in service.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. But that company went from having, I think, 90 franchisees right down to about 3 or 4.
Wow.
Yeah, they ended up in a bit of a class act with all of the franchisees. I was contacted only a couple of years ago to join them, but I'd changed my life around then. I wasn't going fighting for that 50 grand.
Mm.
Couldn't be bothered with it. My life had moved on, you know. But yeah, so I left.
That's intense. That's really, really heavy. Did you
Mm.
take time out to just, I mean, I suppose it sounded like you'd hit rock bottom.
Oh, I was on my knees.
Yeah, so at that point, when you have hit rock bottom, like, do you just take time out to have a breather, or have you not really got any opportunity? You know, your back's up against the wall. You've got to get going and making money.
I left. I left and went self-employed somewhere.
Yeah,
I just
Mm.
had to get out. I was on my knees. Really, really bad.
Wow,
crazy.
that seems
Mm.
really intense, and it's really sad that you had to go through that. But I think
You really see when you're on your knees who's there for you.
Yeah,
yes,
I bet.
You really
yes,
do. You know, I
100%.
was heavily drinking. I was out a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awful. Awful time.
How did you turn that around?
I think it's again that ADHD entrepreneur mentality, whereas if I don't make any money, no one's gonna help me.
Mm,
No one's gonna help me do it. So I just have to get on with it.
yeah,
So I just got on with it. Went self-employed, started getting clients coming in. Um, yeah, at the end of the day, I'm still good at my job.
yeah,
I'm still good at hair.
yeah.
I know that. I can do anything with hair when it comes to it. So you just have to strip it all back to basics. I lost my car, you know, I had literally nothing. I was walking across the street to work. It was awful. So I just had to go right back to basics and just do good hair again.
Wow.
And how did the House of Hair form? Was it from that moment?
So I went self-employed for a couple of years and I actually really enjoyed it. I was just self-employed, working in a salon. I loved the girls that I worked with. I had a really nice time there. I was paying my rent. Um, and yeah, I was making fairly decent money. It wasn't until the owner of the salon came to me and said, "You're making too much here." And I was like, "Oh, I didn't realize that was a thing. I didn't think I could make too much here." Um, and the goalpost moved for the rent. I was paying an amount a month, and then that amount almost tripled
No,
overnight.
kind of noticing a trend here. It seems like a really cutthroat industry,
It
hey?
is. It was harsh. So I went from paying my chair rent weekly to them wanting to switch me on to a 50/50 cut. So it would go from £1,500 a month to half of my takings, which would have been 3,500 or 1,000 a month.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's agreed.
Yeah. And a lot of, and this still happens now, I hear of it. People aren't in contracts. They're just kind of, it's a handshake at the door and
Yeah, I didn't have a contract.
no leg to stand
And I
on.
just said to her, her, I can't see that working for me. And she cried. I cried. And I come away from it. I just said to Harry, my husband, I said, I can't do it. I can't do this anymore. I said, we need to have a serious think about it. And then we did. I got our head down that night, had a serious think about it. And I went in the next day and I just said, this is going to be my last day. I'm not staying. Because they'd given me this ridiculous contract that basically signed 50% of my earnings away. I was like, no. Harry said to me, you're not signing that. And I was like, oh God, what do I do then? So then I went in the next day, told them that I was leaving, and that day would have been my last day. We had another little cry, and then that was it. I left.
And House of Hair.
How did we get onto House of Hair?
Yeah.
So, House of Hair.
Because it feels like you need another breather between that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot
So I
messing
actually
around for
did.
you.
I did have a 3-month gap
Yeah.
between the salon that I worked in and then the House of Hair. I went and worked above my friend's garage just for a couple of months, just to kind of do some clients, and I was just purely making ends meet. It was far too far away from the salon for any clients to follow me. Plus, I didn't want to take the make and contact all the clients and things like that. So I was just making ends meet, doing a little bit. I'd moved in with my husband. He owned his own house. He was like, "You're in a lot of debt. You need to focus on your debt now," because I was in a lot of debt even after working in that salon.
Which must have felt pressure because he's an accountant. So you had an accountant breathing down your throat.
Yeah, but equally at that point, he was like, it was his house. So he was like a realist. He was like, this is my house.
Yeah.
It's not your house. It's not going to be your house. You can live here, but it's mine.
Wow.
Because we were so early on then,
Yeah.
I was like, okay. He said, I don't expect you to pay rent. I just expect you to pick up a food shop from time to time. And I was like, you're actually giving me a lifeline here,
Aww.
which was amazing.
Yeah.
He sounds so instrumental to your turnaround.
He's literally, he's my full vibe. So he gave me a lifeline, and that made it so that I was really able to start chipping away at those debts. I started chipping away at them. My credit score was like 102. Terrible. Couldn't get a car in my name. Couldn't get anything. I had a phone contract, obviously, because I already had one. But yeah, just couldn't get anything in my name. He then went out and bought me a car. I paid for the car, but he put it in his name so that I could have a car that got me to and from work.
What a guy.
Yeah. And then I think I was having a rosé with his mum all night. And I was super passionate about work and business and where I wanted to go in life and where I wanted to be. After explaining to her what had happened to me and where I'd been, I think she pitied me a little bit. But she just said to me, I'll lend you the money.
Wow.
I was like, what? I'll lend you the money for your first salon.
Wow.
I said, really? Because she could see how life-changing that would be for me, but not only for me, for her son. She could see that we were in this relationship together. We were ride or die for each other quite early on. You know your person. When you meet your person, you know your person.
Yeah.
So yeah, she just gave us this lifeline, and I was like, oh my God.
You'd had a business meeting and didn't even know it.
Had a business meeting, tipsy.
And got the investment.
Literally. It was the craziest
of
dragon's den.
talking your-
It was the craziest dragon's den.
The importance of talking about your passion, though, isn't it? To anyone, you never know who's got an opportunity there for you.
I'm sure the wine helped.
Wow. So that's massive. So you got the investment.
We got the investment, and then we started looking at all of the different avenues, what we could do, where we could do it. And then that's when we found the first house of hair. It was previously another salon, and we decided to invest and purchase the salon, then do the renovation because it came with staff. And the industry is really hard to staff. So the fact that we had like a partial ready-made team there, that was really good. But also I had a couple of my team members from the franchise,
Mm.
and I also had a couple of team members that wanted to come with me from the self-employment salon. Because although I just rented a chair there, I made a massive impact on that salon. So I did the training for the team, I helped manage the team. I helped that
Mm.
business. I believe I helped that business. So I had a couple of people that wanted to come with me anyway. And then this ready-made team, which I would have had to invest heavily time because they were an old school, old-fashioned hairdressers. The hair that they were putting out were mediocre. I am telling you now, it was awful, awful. Um, so we too transferred the team over, and they were doing, I think, £1,500 a week.
Oh,
Or we tripled that within the first month.
wow.
Just got on with it, got down to it, and then yeah.
So came in with all of the training, different
The
energy.
renovation, complete new training, a complete new work ethic. You know, just little simple things. I was like, why haven't we got a coffee machine?
Mm,
Why are we not spitting out lattes? Then we went down into the nitty gritty of it, and it cost us 11p to produce a nice latte for a client. Why are we not doing that?
mm,
Why are we charging these premium prices and not giving people a nice drink? So then we opened the coffee bar and was giving out drinks. It just changed the mindset of these like Kencore instant coffee hairdressers
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that probably 10 years ago had a fag on whilst they were doing your
Yeah, it's
highlights and
all the
stuff. Do you know, it's
details,
like,
isn't it?
yeah, it was just honing in on getting a better product out there for the client. So that did really, really, really well. And we were just busy, packed out all the time. That did really well. Then we decided that we was going to do a second because we'd done really, really well. We had some profit. I was like, I'm ready for a second. I've done all my time with
Mistakes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, let's double down and do it again.
5 salons in 5 years is crazy.
Mm,
You said to me there's 1,000 salons closing every 6 months at the moment in the
yeah.
UK, which is absurd.
Hmm.
Why do you think that is? Owning a salon now and multiple salons, why do you think that is?
It's tough out there. It's really tough out there. It's tough not only when it comes to gaining new clients, getting clients to transfer over to you, trusting you with their hair, the back end of the business, the taxes, HMRC, the rises in everything since COVID, the rises in, bread and milk you've seen is wild. Think of that. Our suppliers have 3 price rises a year,
Wow.
and we're only deemed to be able to have one, which is around April time.
I mean, talk to us about that. How did they get away with 3
3
increases?
price rises a year.
Does that
Yeah.
not make you want to shop around, or have you got such a good supplier that you're like, we need to stick with them?
It does make you want to shop around, of course it does. But then by shopping around, you're looking for a cheaper brand, looking for a cheaper alternative, meaning that your results are going to be cheapened.
Mm,
The clients are going to see that. They're going to know that, you know. It's not something that I'm not willing to give up on the quality, you know.
mm,
I think there's a lot of new brands coming out though that have the same kind of quality. They don't have the name. They might not
mm.
have the established name, but they do have the quality.
Mm,
Or have you ever thought about potentially manufacturing your own products to give yourself that own that kind of high level of product,
mm,
um, but branding it yourself?
yeah. It is something that I've thought about, and I thought the easiest avenue would be hair extensions. We do a lot of hair
Yeah.
extensions. I've never really thought about color, like hair color. That's so hair extensions are one of our biggest costs. And then color, hair color is our second biggest cost. Um, so I've never really thought about color, but I
Mm.
did think about hair extensions, and that is another beast that I was not willing to mess around with.
Talk to us about that. What does that look like? Because as a consumer and someone's had hair extensions, you just say, "Oh yeah, I'll just pick this color." Like, what's the back end of that like for you?
So when we was looking into it, so for instance, we use a brand called Ricochet. I'm a super stylist for Ricochet. I absolutely love the brand. It's amazing. Um, and again, I wouldn't have gone off the quality of that. I would need the same product, if not better, um, because they're amazing. Um, so you know yourself, you go into the hairdressers, you sit down in your chair, you have a little consultation. It's going to cost you £500 for these new hair extensions, plus fitting and a nice colour. Lovely. It's costing you £500. It's costing me £400. It's costing Ricochet maybe £200
Mm.
to be able to get that product across to you. That's one style in one length. So you have a black. I need black in 16-inch, 18-inch, 20-inch in 4 different types of hair extensions. One 16-inch set of hair extensions in a weft will cost me 10 grand.
Just one color.
One colour.
Wow.
I need that in 3 different lengths, in 3 different types of hair extension.
So we're talking hundreds of thousands.
So we're talking, I could have brought out one colour
Yeah.
with the money that I had to invest in it. And I was not
Wow.
like, I could have like a blonde in 16, 18, and 20-inch. That's it.
So
I
the
just,
intention was there. You'd looked into it, but actually, there was just no way that you could have made
you
that
just
work.
you can't battle with these big boys.
Yeah.
You can't do it. I could supply my clients, but then the workload that goes into me being able to supply my clients
Mm.
is rough. I mean, for instance, the turnaround as well, I could have done it on a much smaller scale and just had a little bit of everything. But then for you then to be able to come to me and order hair extensions, you'd have to wait 3 weeks
Yeah.
for them to arrive
Mm.
because I'd be ordering them as you place them.
Mhm.
You wait 3 weeks, whereas the turnaround on Ricochet, it's the next day delivery. The hair's insane.
And I guess from a supplier point of view, when we're talking about, the price changes, because you've gone through that process and you've actually looked at that, you have an appreciation. Okay, if Remy Cachet want to up their supply chain price, that's fine. I
Mm.
will pay it because I know what goes into it.
Mhm.
Whereas other brands probably would cheapen and go lower, which is what you see.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So talk to us about that journey of actually finding your preferred suppliers. How did you kind of find your suppliers when you were starting out? Did you know about this brand before? How did you find them? What kind of research did you do there?
I mean, it's always really difficult when you were looking for a brand. I mean, again, going back to color and styling and products and things in the salon, you end up branded
Mm.
as a young stylist. You do end up knowing what you love. I'm L'Oreal through and through. I'm Kerastase through and through. I will be until I die. Washing my hair in Kerastase till I die. But then when you come to hair extensions, again, there's loads of competition out there. But when I started doing hair extensions, there wasn't.
Mm.
I think there was about 4 brands.
Wow.
Yeah, so there really, really wasn't many. I started out with Beauty Works, then Beauty Works didn't do very well. Sorry, take that back. They did do very well. They like popped off, and then their product stopped popping off.
Right. I
So
hear
they
you.
were trying to, obviously, I believe they were trying to fulfill the demand,
Mm.
and their product wasn't lasting as well.
In terms
It
of the
declined.
quality,
Yeah,
right.
and then um, Remy has just always been really, really consistent, so we've just always stuck with it, and we've grown with them now. You know, we're well in their pockets, they're well in our pockets. You know,
Mm.
we do well together. We're a really good match. So, um, it's difficult. It's difficult to.
Have you ever been burnt with a supplier? There's a lot of different avenues and products and things that are coming into the salon from so many different areas.
Mm,
Have you ever been burnt?
not really, not not really, because the supplier always wants you to spend money with them. You can't. They can't. You can't. They can't burn you and expect you to carry on spending money.
Mm.
Mm.
So not really, because we're a key account. And a key account means you spend
Yeah.
Yeah.
hundreds of thousands with them. When you become a key account, you kind of can control the narrative a little bit,
Hmm.
and you can demand a little bit more and say, "Listen, I will promise to spend X, Y, and Z with you as long as I can have this price or this price point." Um, So yeah, we have a little bit more bargaining power now that we're a little bit bigger.
And how was it when you first started out with the suppliers? I mean, did they
I was
try and
going to Sally's and picking up a colour and doing their hair at home. It's you
Yeah.
tell me what you want in the morning, I'll pop to Sally's, grab it, and then
Mm.
do it in the salon.
Well, I guess what another way of putting it is, when do you know when to scale into that? I
Yeah,
guess like
exactly.
it's you, like you say, if you're just doing self-employed, right, and you're going to Sally's, then you go up to salon level, and it's
Mm,
that scare of like, okay, I actually need to put money in.
yeah. So that's a big transition. So you do your opening order, then you've got two of every colour, then you've
Yeah.
got to maintain that opening order. Um, when you know to scale is when other companies start knocking on your door.
Right.
Mm.
So we are L'Oreal. We've always been L'Oreal. Um, but then we have Schwarzkopf knocking on the door saying, "I'll give you some money if you leave L'Oreal and come to us."
Oh
Wow.
wow.
And then we had Weller come to us and say, "We'll give you more than Schwarzkopf."
Wow.
Yeah.
Again, this seems really cutthroat. This
It is
Mm,
industry.
such a
It's actually
cutthroat
such an eye
industry.
opener.
yeah.
It is.
So then I was like, "Well, I don't want to be with L'Oreal. Sorry, I don't want to be with Weller, and I don't really want to be with Schwarzkopf because I'm comfortable with L'Oreal. My team's comfortable with
Mm.
L'Oreal." Then I went to L'Oreal and I said, "L'Oreal, these two companies are offering me money to go with them. What are you going to do for me to make
Mm,
me stay?"
mm. What did they do?
Oh, that is.
That's staying in Pandora's box, that one.
Mm,
Um, I just want to take back to staff, because you do have an amazing team, high energy. They clearly love you. They clearly love the Christmas parties. It's a great place to work across all of your salons.
mm,
Their energy is great. How do you create that? Obviously, we said earlier about you giving them space to grow and be themselves. A lot of salons you go into, it's very much people have their own chairs.
yeah.
Why did you decide to go down the route of having staff? I mean, I know it's great for tax purposes, but
So the, for us having staff is being in control of the business. If I didn't employ you, I couldn't tell you to be there at 9.
mm,
You can come in at 10:30 when your first client comes in. That means my salon's shut for the
mm,
first hour and a half. Quality control. I can't tell you if you've done a bad job. They're your clients. It's your business. It's your chair. I also can't help you if you've done a bad job. So, for instance, you've come in and had your hair done. You hate it. You don't want that stylist to do your hair again. They won't give you a refund. You're not going to get a redo.
mm.
So I can step in, take over that situation, keep our reputation levels really, really high. Um, just keeping the standard, I think.
And is it quite uncommon now to walk into a salon and see employed stylists,
I think there's a
especially after COVID,
I
maybe?
think there's a massive I think it's very, very equal.
Right.
I think you've got a lot of rent a chair businesses and I think you've got a lot of employment businesses. I think the reason why we do so well with our employed staff is because they wouldn't get any more if they were self-employed.
Mm.
They would earn the same.
Mm.
I mean, they would earn the same if they were doing their taxes properly and paying their way. Um, yeah, I think that's why we do very well. But also going back to the staff, I think understanding your staff, everybody's motivated differently. I'm motivated by a Mars bar. You're motivated by a Snickers. You're
Yeah.
motivated by a Bounty. Weird, but um, but we all have our motivations.
Yeah.
Mine is money.
Yeah.
Mine's that security of money. Never want to be in that almost bankrupt state ever, ever, ever again. I want to feed my family, and some people's time. They're happy with the money that they're earning. They want time. They want to work 4 days, 4 long days, but have three days off a week. Some people's education are really throwing them into the education, teaching them something new, getting them new clients, giving them the exciting tools to grow as an industry leader or a stylist. Um, so it's just really understanding what motivates the team.
Mm.
And I mean, I don't have many, but some members of the team that I've had in the past of coming to work at 9, gone at 5, not wanting to be involved with the team, not wanting to do the Christmas party, not interested in sitting and having lunch together. They come in, do their job, and go home.
Mm.
So it's understanding what motivates the team.
Mm.
I think it's also helped that you've had all of this like large employment history of yourself. You've
Mm.
seen what's good, what works well in other salons. You've seen what works badly in other salons. I suppose that's kind of helped mold your management style as
Yeah.
well, and really helped to kind of help you to have that staff retention as well.
Mm.
So I think that's a really big point.
Absolutely.
I mean, staff are hard work.
Yeah.
Staff are really hard work. They I love them all to death, literally to death, and they hurt you way more than anybody else in your life. Um, but that's one or two. In the most part, they're all great.
I think it's very funny that you say that because as an employers actually generally get you know, just shat on. Like
Mm.
Mm.
we are kind of seen as a big bad employer, but they don't realize the amount of emotion that we actually put into someone
Yeah,
when we're hiring them.
yeah. We actually have feelings.
Yeah,
We actually do,
yeah.
and that hurts. That hurt me. That you've
Mm.
just done what you've done, kind of thing. Yeah,
Mm. What is the secret to a growing successful salon?
consistency.
Talk on that.
Consistency is absolutely key for everything I believe in life. If you're bringing up a child, be consistent.
Mm.
If you're trying to grow a plant, be consistent. If you're trying to grow a business, be consistent. Um, that's with your team and with your clientele as well. I want you to come in and have your hair done. And I want you to love this cut as much as you love the cut that I've done 10 years down the line. I want you to still feel that kind of emotion of coming into the salon, enjoying the vibes and enjoying the hair that you walk out with. And it's just being consistent with clients that will naturally help your your books grow. And the same with the team, just being consistent, you know.
What drives you to keep showing up every day? That's a deep one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What drives me to keep family, I think.
That's
Family,
beautiful.
it's not just me.
Mm,
It's not just me. I've got a husband and a child on the way and a house, and cars, and I've got to make the money for us. But also, if I don't show up, I've got 36 members of staff that I'm letting down. So not just my family, it's their family. It's
Mm.
their family life. It's their weekends. It's their dinners out on the weekend. It's their livelihood. It's their life. So I just feel like if you don't show up, you're playing with people's lives, and that's not okay.
exactly.
I love that answer. Or I had a conversation about something similar, like what's your drive? You know, you always feel like you have to have this goal. You know, we were saying earlier, like, oh, just keep going, keep going, keep going. Sometimes I just think, do you know what? There isn't like a bigger goal, but it's the fear of going back to what it could be. Like you could go back to a 9 to 5 job. Who looks after your dogs? Who picks up your child from school? Like the fear of your life changing so
And
much
there's nothing more frightening than
than that.
COVID.
Like COVID.
When COVID did that to us all.
Oh,
Yeah.
go on then. Let's talk about the big
Yeah,
story.
let's go
When
there.
COVID did that to us all, I was a shaking mess.
Mm.
Mm,
We wasn't as big as we are. I didn't have as many team members as we are, but we had no idea what was going on, did we? We had no idea about furlough
No,
right in the beginning. I was begging for them to shut us down, begging,
really.
because we were hemorrhaging money and we were the last industry to shut down. So we were hemorrhaging money. And I said to Harry, we've we've got maybe 4 weeks of a reserve to be able to. We were a new business. We were only 9 months old when COVID
Yeah.
hit. So we had about 9 months, sorry, 4 weeks worth of money to be able to pay the team, pay the bills, all of this. I was begging for them to shut us down because we had nobody coming in. The scaremongering was wild.
Yeah.
We
mm,
didn't know. I was scared of it. I was scared of it.
Yeah.
We didn't know what was going. I didn't want to end up on a ventilator.
mm.
There wasn't enough ventilators at one point. Do you remember? So we were
Yeah.
all scared to death. So that was really frightening. When your team comes to you and says, "What is happening?" I know as much as you. Boris has been on at 4 o'clock. I found out with you what was happening. We found out about furlough at 4 o'clock. Then we had to change our game plan to then apply to the government to then be able to furlough our whole team. That's another week's worth of work for us to be able to understand furlough. Then they changed the goalposts for furlough. It was just a wild, wild time. And actually, if I hadn't have bought the business and changed the name, we wouldn't have been liable for any business grants and furlough. So that would have been me in the bucket again.
Wow.
No money,
Wow.
nothing.
Very close then.
Very close.
How did you kind of bounce back after COVID?
Because there was a lot of box ties going on as well. That's what I will say, which is also your worst nightmare.
Yeah, there was a lot of box ties, a lot of funny ones. It was good fun. Um, but with box ties comes color corrections.
What an answer.
And they're expensive. Color
Yes.
corrections are expensive. So yeah, we had a lot of threatening eye clients. Very much like your roots are £42 now. Your color correction will be £442. So yeah, we didn't wasn't too bad about that, and we all had roots together. We all had grown out bits together, so we were all at it together, weren't we? So we
Mm.
just didn't wasn't too bad. But the bounce back from COVID was absolutely wild. It was a wild time. We went from, I think, 198,000 in turnover the first year to 1.6. Yeah,
That's a lot of colour correction.
that's a lot of color correction. But COVID was an extended period of time. We
Mm.
opened up, shut down, opened up, shut down, opened up and shut down. And I had far too much time on my hands in COVID. We went into the first lockdown. Then after the first lockdown, we opened a second salon
Right.
in that short period of time.
That's
Wow.
really brave of you.
Yeah, it was. And then we went into lockdown again. And then we emerged out of lockdown with 3 salons. So that was our growth through the lockdown period.
What gave you those balls? Sorry, it's just great. That seems so
That
crazy.
does.
Doesn't it? Doesn't it?
The opportunity, I suppose.
Is everything at quite low price point at that point
Yeah, the
because of the
opportunity
state?
was
Yeah.
there. The opportunity was there. The team members was there. I wasn't really thinking about COVID. So we'd started purchasing Bedford before COVID had hit, before COVID was a thing. So that was ongoing. You just don't walk into a business and
No.
say, I'll buy it. And then you've got it the next day. So we'd already started purchasing Bedford, and that was one of my biggest fears is we'd started purchasing Bedford. I've only got 4 weeks left to be able to pay my team that I've got now. Am I going to be able to purchase Bedford? We might not be going through with it. And then, yeah, we the ball had already started rolling with Bedford, so we went ahead with it. We reopened with Bedford. There was a full team in Bedford, full team in Milton Keynes, and we absolutely smashed it. Everybody wanted a hair appointment after COVID. I mean, we all looked like death, didn't
Yeah,
we?
we did.
All of us. So we was really tactical about that as well. We really made sure that our regular clients got the first opportunity. So we sent out a private message to all of our in-house clients, and they all had 24 hours to book their appointments.
Oh, given the emergency.
Well, it was that, but also I wanted the books full as well.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, but no, but I'm saying
100%.
I
We were
love it.
coming
Like I
back.
love, I think
Yeah.
creating urgency and please, creating that vibe.
So we gave
Yes.
all of our clients 24 hours. You had to leave a deposit on the booking platform. That gave us security that we weren't going to be messed about. And then after that, there was no white space left. But after that, we then opened our booking platform to the general public, which made us book out 8, 10, 12 weeks in advance. We were solid. It
It-
was like Christmas for a year.
Is that because of the amount of salons that had closed down during
lot,
COVID
a
and you picked up a
lot.
lot?
A lot didn't come back. So, the franchise that I told you about, that didn't come back.
Do you know what?
So,
Karma, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
sold it to them
I'm
for
sorry.
£1, took half of their team, half of their staff that were my staff, and yeah, they didn't reopen.
Wow.
Mm. But yeah, it was a crazy time. Like I said, it was like Christmas, but for a year.
Props to you for taking that big leap. That's how you've got to be in business. You just have to take advantage of, like you say, there's business rates and things would have been minor at that time
Mm.
because nobody would have really known what they wanted to have done. But yeah, those who, what's the saying? Those who
Take risks,
take
reap
risks,
rewards, I
reap
think.
rewards, or something like that. And you really did, because that could have
Mm.
completely taken you under.
Well, yeah. Well, it could have. We were lucky. We were very lucky. Harry, my husband, didn't get furlough. His business was too young. He didn't get any help. Nothing. So thankfully, my furlough covered the both of us.
Thank God for
Yeah.
furlough in the first place, otherwise it would have been horrendous. No,
What a
we
crazy
don't even think
time.
about that.
What a crazy time that was.
It was. I hope we never go back there.
Hopefully not.
No.
Hopefully not. Hopefully
But I
not.
think we're all a little bit better prepared for it.
I'd like to think so, but I also see people moving the same way that they did before COVID and haven't factored that these things can happen again.
What's scary about COVID is everyone turned wonderful and was really supportive, and there was a real sense of community, and everybody became each other's support, helping the neighbours and things like that. Kind of a bit like the old days when we were young.
Mm.
Um, we'd really lost all of that, I thought. Um, Now we're heading back to that kind of selfish.
I think it's a little bit weird what's going on right now.
Yeah, I do as well.
Yeah,
It's a scary time to be in business.
yeah.
People's
And just in the UK in general, actually.
yeah, but yeah,
Yeah.
but people's habits changing daily. Like people's rebooking habits are changing. Their last minute urgency for appointments. People's money, their disposable income is
Mm.
diminishing
Yeah.
daily.
Are you
So
seeing that at the moment? A lot of
massively,
change.
massively, the last minute appointments that we're getting through our online booking systems. Um, yeah, people's habits have just changed so much, so much.
And what's the future hold for House of Hair now? You've got your 5 salons.
Got the 5 salons. What does the future hold for us? Wow.
What will Lucy let you say?
What will she let me say? Um, we're not done.
Okay, that's
We're
exciting.
not done with the business. We're not settled on 5. Um, I mean, my dream would be to get the business to um a certain level, a couple more salons, hopefully. Um, we've got a couple in the pipeline. Um, but I want to get the business to a point where we're attractive enough for partners to want to come on board
Okay.
and join us so that we can scale the business with partners. Not a franchise model, partnership.
Staying well away from the franchise model.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when is the right time for you to know when to scale with these businesses? Like,
I'd love to know.
you'd love to
I'd
know.
love to
Do you
know.
just wing it?
I
I think a lot of us do wing it. So it's okay if you want to
Yeah.
answer and say yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Bedford was definitely a tactical move. Woburn was a smart move. Um, Henlaw was a no-brainer.
That's at Champneys.
That's at one of our Champneys resorts. That was a no-brainer. They came and asked us if we'd be interested in going into the resort. And we were like, oh, this is an opportunity. Then Tring came up as an opportunity, and the resorts are smashing it. So we're hoping to be a really good partner with Champneys over the next couple of years. Um, so I, to be honest with you, right now we're really focused on our existing salons. Um, Especially high street salons. We're
Mm.
really focused on them. I wouldn't necessarily go out and do another high street right now. I would probably see how the next year goes.
Because of where we're at with the economy right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
How do you feel Labour government has affected your business right now in terms of taxation and rates rises and all
Yeah,
of
it's
that sort of
chaos.
stuff?
Absolutely chaos. If I took one of my salons to America, I would be, I think, 82% better off.
Wow, I love the fact that you've done the calculation.
Yeah,
Are you actually factored doing that to the US?
yeah,
Okay. Don't blame you.
yeah. It's one of those things. All these amazing entrepreneurs are leaving the UK to go to Dubai.
Mm,
They're going to Australia. We're losing doctors to Australia.
Mm.
Like, come on.
yeah.
We're losing people that we need. Um, So we've looked at it. We've looked at the opportunity out there. We've looked at being able to move. If things get much worse,
Mm.
it's tough out there. It is tough out there.
Wow.
I don't know where to go
Yeah, I
from
don't know where to go from
that.
that. But I mean, look, you know what? There's a lot of entrepreneurs that are doing exactly the same thing. But I think Britain is definitely still open for business.
Mm,
It's just how difficult the government will make it for us.
Mm.
And I think that's where we kind of position ourselves to actually try and support these small businesses and to help them scale, help them find the new supply chain that they need, help them keep the lights on, really. Um, as you know, I'm finding so many businesses, even nowadays, are shutting down across all industries
mm.
because rates are rising, the taxes are rising, cost of goods are rising. As we touched on earlier, it's actually just a really tough time out there at the moment.
I think where you can support UK, it's essential. Obviously, there's been a lot around US tariffs as well, and a lot of panic, and a lot of fashion brands I
Mm.
follow that have had to put a halt on things. And it just makes you realise the more you can support within the UK, the better. And, we talked on prices and supplies and, keeping quality. It's a tough one between everybody just putting their hands into their pockets and supporting their UK businesses because, if it means supporting the UK supply chain, sometimes that does
Mm.
mean higher payment. But and also between looking after the consumer, it's such a 50-50 thing that we're trying to balance at the
It
moment. It
starts
does
at
feel
home.
like it's impossible for us at the
Everything
moment.
starts at home, though.
Yeah,
People are going to look after themselves.
yeah,
They're not going to go to that little boutique that's around the corner that's, English made if it's available on Shein for a quid.
I know.
Yeah.
One of the craziest facts that I learned a couple of weeks ago was for us to live like our parents, we need £120,000 a year. One income. My dad said to me, "You don't know how easy you've got it these days." I said, "I can't believe you just said that to me. I
Yeah.
actually can't believe it."
I feel like they didn't have realize how easy they had it.
Literally,
Bought their
your
house for
house
four
was three
grand.
thousand pounds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Your food shop was threepenny bits and
yeah.
tenpence. Like how
Don't show his age too
how
much.
how dare you
Yeah.
tell me that we've got to ease it? But the comparison, the average British household needs £120,000 a year coming in
Per person.
per person to live as they were living in the 50s and 60s with a car.
Yeah,
I don't know,
holidays.
say cars in the 50s, but
Yeah.
holidays, but they were able to bring up their own children.
Mm,
One person working within the household, it's a lot. It's a hell of a lot. You can't get on the property market now until you're in your 30s.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, it's
And
really
even then,
scary.
people still struggle.
Even
They've got
then,
credit
yeah.
card debt because they're trying to pay it, or they've bought a new car or whatever.
Yeah,
It's still really tough out there for
it's
them.
really tough.
So, in terms of your next steps and where you're going just now, how are you going to manage that with a new family, new little
Yeah, I had
addition on
that
the way?
question.
We're really lucky because Harry's self-employed as well.
Mm.
Obviously, we've got the businesses. I You just got to do it, ain't you?
Yeah,
And navigate it. I don't think there's anything more fulfilling.
I think you're really adaptable anyway. You can adapt to any
Mm.
sort of situation.
I
So,
think I've spent so long pushing the business, or pushing to have a business, or pushing to stay alive, pushing to keep my head above water with the downfall of one business, starting another business, all of that. I think you just get to a point where I still adore the business. I love the business and I'm still going to be driving it forward. But I also do have to focus on my family because I'm
Mm.
not a spring chicken anymore.
You
You know,
are.
not really.
You are. I'm not going to say your age on the podcast, but you're young.
Yeah, but I mean, by now, people expect certain things of you, don't they? They expect you to have a house. They expect you to have a
Yeah, there's social
society. The
pressures.
society
Yeah.
expects you to be doing things
Yeah.
like that. I mean, we're really lucky. We could have waited another 5 years and had children because we don't have a biological clock. But my feels won't allow that. I want
Mm.
children, to be a bit younger.
mm,
And like I said, having that fulfillment from your family life as well, balancing it all. Got to have it. If you want to have it all, got to work towards having it all.
Yeah. It will slow you down for sure, but it's
but
good.
it'll be worth it.
Yeah.
Mm.
It will be worth it. I think that's all from me. Have you got any other questions on
Yeah,
it?
just one other question
Go
from
on.
me. In terms of advice of someone coming into the industry, trying to make a name for themselves, trying to start up their own salon, what kind of advice would you give them?
Start small. Start super, super, super small. Um, don't bite off more than you can chew, because the economy is not in a position for you, to give you consistency. Things rise, things fall. There is no consistency, so just start small. If you're starting out, you and a friend, keep it you and your friend until your books are full. Then introduce someone. Don't go out in a massive £125,000 renovation and hope that people are going to walk through the door. Start small, build a name, and grow from there.
Love that. Thank you so much for your time today. Really
Thank you so
appreciate it.
much. That's a great bit
Thanks
of
for having me.
advice.